Former NASA chief Golden says it's time to go nuclear to get people off planet Earth into space, that is. Now, the nuclear thermal rocket is a type of thermal rocket where the heat from a nuclear reaction, often nuclear fission, replaces the chemical energy of the propellants in a chemical rocket, according to Wikipedia. And this is what they want, to lessen the weight and, of course, do as fast as possible all the missions. Now, the nuclear-powered spacecraft, if humans are ever going to visit worlds beyond our own, please consider supporting my Patreon account since YouTube has demonetized my channel again. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Now, from the beginning of our modern space age, the late 1950s and 60s, rockets have relied on chemical propulsion to get us into orbit. Rockets that burn liquid fuel have sent astronauts to the moon and back, have sent probes towards worlds like Mars and Venus, and service all of our missions to International Space Station. But a former NASA chief, Golden, believes the time has come for NASA to adopt nuclear power. Daniel Golden, who was NASA's administrator between 1992 and 2001, expressed his views about NASA's future during an online seminar hosted by Aviation Week Network. Golden was joined by Charles Bolden, Jr., former astronaut and NASA administrator between 2009 and 2017, and Sean O'Keefe, who ran the U.S. Space Agency between 2001 and 2004. So these 3 men discussed the future of NASA and where they believe the space agency's focus should be in the future. According to Golden, NASA has a duty to stay ahead of the curve and outpace its competitors in the field of space exploration. His biggest concern for NASA is China has been catching up with the U.S. at an alarming pace. As a result, Mr. Golden said nuclear power is the way to go for future space travel and exploration. He said, "We landed on the moon July 1996, and it's damn time for America to get people out of Earth orbit." He said, "Love the moon, but we've got to start mining asteroids. We've got to start getting to other planets. We've got to start getting to moons of other planets," he said. "If we don't start thinking about these things, and by the way, it's also time. We've been using the same damn rocket technology since Apollo, and it's time to grow up and say the magic term nuclear. There, I said it, nuclear," he said. "We're going to need nuclear power on planetary bodies. We're going to need nuclear power for propulsion. And if America intends to be a world leader, we've got to grow up and learn how to live with nuclear," he says. He says, "We've done a damn good job on the surface of the Earth, and we've got to start thinking nuclear going off." He says nuclear propulsion has been called a potential game changer for NASA, and this is not a new interest either, as the space agency has looked into nuclear propulsion as far back as 1961. That year, NASA and the former U.S. Atomic Energy Commission partnered on the nuclear engine for a rocket vehicle application, or NERVA for short, the NERVA program. And the goal of NERVA was to design, build, and test nuclear-based rocket engines and reactors. And NASA's chief rocket engineer, Wernher von Braun, who is from Germany, as we know, envisioned a series of missions by 1981 that involved a crewed mission to Mars. The plans were abandoned in 1972 because of budget cuts, and shifting interests forced NASA to change direction. But nuclear thermal propulsion NPT, has been revisited in recent years. 2 years ago, Doyce Mitchell of NASA's NTP project at Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama said, "We're working on a first-generation NTP system that has great growth potential." He says nuclear propulsion can provide faster transit times to worlds like Mars. Even more crucially, NTP spacecraft could potentially cut mission times in half, which is critical since long-duration missions to the red planet of Mars would expose astronauts to greater amounts of space radiation. The studies show journeys to Mars could result in brain damage and memory loss as a result of space radiation, solar and cosmic rays. According to Michael Hoots, the NTP principal investigator at Marshall, NASA was looking at systems using low enriched uranium as fuel, and a year later, the summer of 2019, current Administrator Jim Bridenstine lauded the potential technology. He states its application would be pivotal for NASA. He says that is absolutely a game changer for what NASA is trying to achieve. That gives us an opportunity to really protect life when we talk about the radiation dose when we travel between Earth and Mars. This is by Sebastian Ketley on Express UK. Please leave your comments. Thank you.